Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. This is episode 4 of our password manager series. Before we get started, don't forget to smash the like and subscribe button and also leave a comment down below. And let's get started. Alright guys, so in our last episode, we implemented some new account management features, such as the ability to remove an account, change username, remove a platform, and also change the master password. And we also did some bug fixes and added some new validation messages. Alright guys, so let's get started with our first task for episode 4. So the first thing we'll want to implement is pagination. Now with pagination, it essentially allows us to, for example, let's say we had 1,000 credentials for a particular user. We do not want to overwhelm the user with all 1,000 credentials on the screen. So pagination allows us to limit the amount of credentials or information being displayed. So let's start implementing that feature. So first guys, let's actually create a credential for the user John. Cause currently if we look at our creds.json, there are no credentials for the user John. So let's create a credential for him. So we could have for example Gmail for the platform name, and then for the username we could have something like john21@gmail.com, and we can confirm it, john21@gmail.com. And then for the password we could make the password be, I don't know, secret1234, secret1234. And you can see it successfully added the credentials. Let's try to view it. One for Gmail, one for that. And you see secret1234. Cool. Alright, so let's check our creds.json now. Cat creds.json. And you can see this is the before for John, and this is the after for John, right? Now, in order to demonstrate pagination, I would need to have a particular number of credentials, right? So let's actually do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to edit this creds.json. But before doing that, let me try to log out of our FlexPass manager. And we're gonna do vim creds.json right here. And then what we'll do guys is we'll try to duplicate one of the credential. Let me put this on a new line, for example. So I'm just gonna put this on a new line, and I'm just gonna duplicate this credential a bunch of times. So let me just copy it, and then after I copy it, I'm just gonna duplicate it a bunch of times. So we can just simply paste it in a bunch of times, and we can format it now. So we'll need to add a comma after the end of each credential. So comma in order to separate it. Right. Let's see. We could actually change the email addresses. Maybe something like, I don't know, johndoe@gmail.com, janedoe@gmail.com. We could have like johntest@gmail.com, Could have something like johnny@gmail.com, johnny1@gmail.com. We could have something like unknown@gmail.com. And let's see how much credentials this is. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 credentials in total. Let's try to add some more. Maybe we could have like 10 credentials just for demonstration purposes. So we could have one there, one there. All right. And let's separate each one of them. So we could have a comma, comma, right there. All right, and let's count the number of credentials now. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, I think let's add just 2 more credentials. So we can have one there, can have one there, and we can rename these email addresses. Maybe this could be something like alexis@gmail.com, william@gmail.com, peter@gmail.com, secret@gmail.com, john30@gmail.com, john49@gmail.com. And we can save this. Let's just keep this open. And what we can do, guys, if we try to rerun our FlexPass manager, we can log in as the user John. 1, 2, 3, 4 for his password, and let's try to view our credentials and see how much exists. So we can view for Gmail, and we can see we actually have 12 credentials now, and we can actually use this to demonstrate the pagination process, right? Let's try to view a credential real quick. We could view, for example, 12. And you can see it says john49@gmail.com's password is secret1234. And notice we selected john49@gmail.com. Cool. So now it is actually time to implement the pagination process for our credentials. So we're just gonna edit our manager.py, because this is where we are actually displaying our credentials. I think it's in our menu.py. So that's actually the correct place for where we are supposed to implement the pagination process. Because if we look for define view credentials, this is where we're actually printing our platforms and actually printing our credentials. So let's think about how we'll actually do this. Let's see. All right, so one thing I wanted to implement, guys, before the pagination process or during the pagination implementation is adding enums to our options. Reason being, right now, if we look at how we are actually checking to see what option the user selects, we're just checking it against magic values, which really do not have much meaning. So with an enum, we can actually describe our option more better, right? So that's actually what I'm going to be doing first. Yeah, but we could actually let this wait for a bit. Let's just focus on pagination first. Because since guys we are only, let me open up a new terminal. So FlexPass manager, Python 3 flexpass.py. We can log in as the user John 1234. View a credential. Notice guys, we could actually apply pagination to two sections of our view credentials option. So it could be for the platform, and it could actually be for our actual credentials that we are displaying. So there's two parts that we're going to apply pagination to. So what we could do actually, whenever we are trying to print out a credential, let's look at our print credentials or print platforms function, right? And our print platforms function basically just iterates through each one of our platform, and it gets the name of the platform. And whenever it does that, it displays the option, and then it just prints out each one of them, right? So first, we have to think about what is the limit, or how much platforms do we want to print out? How much platforms do we want to print out? Right, per page, for example. If we think of a book has multiple pages, right? So we won't display everything on a single page. We break up each parts that overflow onto a separate page. So this is how we're going to do the pagination, for example. All right, so let's see how we'll actually do this. So guys, first of all, for us to demonstrate pagination for our platform also, we will need to add a bunch of platforms, or more platforms, for the user John. And you know what guys, to make it less complicated, I'm going to delete the credentials for some of these users. So this is the user, unknown 21. All right, let's delete unknown 21. Right. And then we can delete the user, this user right here. And yeah, I think this should be it. So now can try to format this a bit better. And let's add some new platforms, right? So we're gonna have an empty platform, for example Amazon, and it's not gonna have any credential. And then we're gonna have an empty platform for Google, for example, empty platform for Instagram, empty platform for Facebook, empty platform for Twitter. We could have an empty platform for GitHub, empty platform for YouTube, and then an empty platform for, yeah, so we have YouTube. Could have an empty platform for Telegram, and let's see how much platforms this is. So we currently have Gmail. Well, let me actually get rid of that indentation. So we have Gmail, we have Amazon, we have Google, we have Instagram, we have Facebook, we have Twitter, we have GitHub, we have YouTube, we have Telegram. Alright, how much is that though? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 9 platforms. Let's add one more. Let's add one more. Wait, a comma should be right here. Another platform. We could have Netflix. So that's 10. And let's see how much platforms this is. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Cool. So now we have 10 platforms. Let's try to log out. And re-log in back to the user John. So zoom in a bit. We can try to view credentials, and now we have 10 platforms. We have Gmail, Amazon, Google, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, GitHub, YouTube, Telegram, and Netflix. Nice. So now we should be able to demonstrate pagination. Alright, so what we're going to do, guys, we could actually define a default pagination limit within our menu, right? So we could have let's say we have a platform offset, and the platform offset would be the starting point of our platform, right? And then we could have a platform limit, which would be the maximum number of platforms we should display per page, right? And then we could have for the credential, we could define an offset too. So credential offset. So the starting point would be 0. Then we could have a credential limit. And we could set it to 2 also. So it would only display 2 platforms or 2 credentials per page, right? So now, when we're trying to print the platform, let's go to our print platforms function. What we'll do, we'll simply just convert this into a list. Let's just convert, because we're basically returning a dictionary of platforms when we call this function right here. And then what we could do is we could limit this list by using our splicing within Python. So we can have our offset, so this would be our platform offset, and then our platform limit, and that would but before we can't just add our platform limit right there. Instead, we have to take our current platform offset, so platform offset, and then we have to add it to our platform limit. And what that will basically do is it will splice or list of platforms and only display it within a certain range. So it will be 2 per page. So let's try to run our code and see what happens. So we can try to log in again. We got an unexpected indent at line 243. So it's right here. Alright, let's refresh. And let's log in as the user John. We can try to view a credential now. And you can see, guys, it's only displaying 2 platforms this time, instead of the entire platforms list. Now, a thing we'll need to do is we'll need to try and divide or get the total number of pages, right? Alright, so let's see how we could do this. So we could do something like platform count equals to the length of our platforms, right? And that would give us the total number of platforms. And then we could simply, let's just create another list, and what this will be is it will be our paginated list, which will be equal to our platforms offset, etc. And then for our enumerator right here, we could just simply pass in our paginated list. But wait a minute. Oh, we'll need to put the offset, the platform offset here instead of the option, right? So yeah, since we're basically doing that, we'll simply get our platform offset. Alright, so we could have something like this. We could say option equals to our current platform offset plus or option, and then we could have a +1. So then we could have our option right there. And then let's see what happens. Wait, let's see. Could have something like print displaying platforms, and then we could have our offset or platform offset of platform count. So that would basically wait, not our platform count. Let's create another variable and we'll just call this platform end equals to our platform offset plus our platform limit. And we can simplify this expression right here, and we could simply say platform end. So we could say displaying platform offset of offset from platform end of platform count, something like that. And let's rerun our code. Can rerun our code now. Log in as the user John. Can try to view a credential and it says displaying platforms. Oh, I forgot to make this an F string. So we can rerun our code and we can log in again. View credential, displaying platforms 0 from 2. Okay. All right. Displaying platforms. Alright, so right here, guys, we'll need to add 1 to our offset. Right? Because we're gonna say displaying platforms to platform end of platform count. And then we could log in as the user John. 1, 2, 3, 4. View credentials, and it says displaying platforms 1 to 2 of 10. Of 10, we could probably add something like platforms, or displaying 1 to 2. You could just say displaying 1 to 2 of 10 platforms or something like that. Alright, so let's see how this looks now. Can log in as the user John, displaying 1 to 2 of 10 platforms. Alright, I think that's good. I think that's good. And then maybe we could print out a message. So we could say if platform end is not equal to the platform count, meaning we haven't displayed the final platform, then we could say print something like, could print out red, something like type next to go to the next page or section dot something like that. And let's see how this looks. So we can log in as the user John. 1, 2, 3, 4. View credentials, and it says type next to go to the next page or section. Cool. Alright, let's make this be white. and we could make this be bold. And then we could make this be red. Then we could make this be white. Yeah, and let's see how this looks now. Wait, at the end right here, we could simply do a reset. So if we try to view a credential, it says type next to go to the next page or section. Cool. We need to get rid of that extra space here though. And we can view a credential. Alright, displaying 1 to 2 of 10 platforms. Type next to go to the next page or section. Cool. Alright. So then guys, for here what we could do is we could validate type back to go back to the main menu. Wait, let's make this be red. Let's make this be white. Let's make this be red. And let's make this be white. Let's see if this looks better. Yeah, that looks a lot better. We can also do that improvement right here. Or maybe we could actually say factor this message out, and I could say something like could say if platform let's just print out a single message, guys. So we could say something like print use buck and use buck next and prev to navigate to each section. And we could make this be an F string, so we could have bold, white, and this could be red, this could be white, this could be red, this could be white, this could be red, this could be white. And then what this means, guys, right where we say type back to go back, we don't even have to do this inside of here. anymore. Oh, we could say something like use back to go back to the main menu, I think. So let's just make this be red. Could make everything else here white. And then we could make everything else here white again. And let's rerun our code now. We can log in as the user John 1234. Can view credentials. So it says use back to go back to the main menu. Alright, let's actually simplify this more. We could simply just print out so this will be bold, and we could say shortcuts, and then we could say printf shortcuts. This could be white, this could be bold, this could be white. One, we could say use back to go back to the main menu, and then we could have something like 2 and this could be, this should be white, could make this be white. Oh, it's already white, so we could say 2 use next to navigate to the next section. Then we could say print f3 use prev to navigate to the previous section. And now we could actually color these keywords. So right here we could have red, white, red, white. And we can get rid of that extra thing down there. And let's see how this looks, guys. So we can log in as the user John 1234. We can try to view a credential. Shortcuts, use back to go back to the main menu. Use next to navigate to the next section. Use prev to navigate to the previous section. Cool. We could actually have a extra line right here. Alright, I think that looks a lot cleaner. But we could actually highlight the rest of the keywords. Alright, so this should be red, white, and then red again, white, red, white. You know what, and let's actually move this into our shortcuts, right? So let's do define print underscore shortcuts. It will inherit from the self, and we'll simply paste this in here. So then within our print platforms, we can simply do self.print shortcuts. And then for right here, we could do the same thing again, self.print shortcuts. And yeah, let's test this out now. So we could log in as the user John1234. We can try to view credential. Right, and it says use back to go back to the previous menu. Cool. Alright, and it also does it for our credentials as well. Awesome. So now let's actually make this the navigation system work, guys. So how we'll do this? We could actually define a function, guys, that controls our offsets, right? So we could say something like define next underscore platform page, and then we could have define prev platform page. And what that will allow us to do for our next platform page function, it will allow us to go to the next page for our platform, and the prev platform will go back to the previous page. So now right here we could have a global variable, and we could say platform offset, and we could have a, let's see, so to go to the next page, all we need to do is say platform offset plus equal to platform limit, and then for our next thing now we can say platform offset, so global platform offset, then platform offset plus equal to our, no, minus equal to our platform limit. But before we do that, we have to ensure that our platform offset is greater than 0, and then that's the only time we'll do that. So now we could actually validate this within our platform ID input, right? So we could say else if platform ID equals to next, then we simply call self.next platform page. Otherwise we say if platform ID equals to prev, then self.prev platform page. And let's see if this works, guys. Let's see. So now we can try to log in as the user John1234. Can try to view a credential. We can use next to go to the next page. Nice. And it actually works because you can see it says 34. Cool. Can go do next, 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 next. Alright. All right, we found a bug right here, and that's because we didn't check the range when we're going to the next platform. So it should be less than the platform limit, right? Than the platform count, I mean. So print platforms. Yeah, so all we need to do, we need to say, wait, do we have the platform count here? Yeah, we could actually pass the platform count as an argument here. And then we could simply do if platform offset plus the platform, let's define a new variable, platform end equals to the platform offset plus the platform limit. If the platform end is less than the platform count, then that will be the only time we'll increase the platform offset. And we can clear the screen now. Can try to log in as the user John 1234. We can try to view credentials. We can type next to go to the... Alright, so we have an error now. That's because we forgot to pass in an argument to our next platform page function. So all we need to do is put the platform count right here. Alright, cool. Can log in John 1234. View credential, next. Alright, cool. It actually works, guys. If you notice, it's displaying each platform and only 2 at once, right? And we have 10 platforms in total. So first it displays Gmail, Amazon, then Google, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, GitHub, YouTube, Telegram, Netflix, etc. So yeah, that's actually good. It's actually good, guys. Let's try to use the prev command now. You can see it's actually going back in reverse. Cool. Alright, now we need to prevent this from happening, because yeah, whenever we try to go to the next page, all we need to do is simply do a continue statement, or to a previous page we do a continue statement, and then we can run our code now. We can type John 1234, view credentials, can type next, and you see it shows us right there. Type next, prev. Cool. Type back, goes back to the main menu. Awesome. Let's try to type next, and then we can type back, and it should get us back right there. If we type 2 though, it will not restart from where we were. Instead it will, yeah, so whenever we type back, guys, we'll need to reset our offset. So let's actually do that. Define reset underscore platform offset, and it will inherit from the self, right? And all we'll do, we'll simply do global platform offset equals to 0, and then inside of here, when we type back, we can do self.reset platform offset, and we can rerun our code. We can log in as the user John. John 1234. Can view credential. All right, so now we can try to navigate to a next page, and then we can type back, and if we try to go back, it will always restart for us. Cool. All right, now we'll need to do this, the pagination for our credentials now, guys. So, but wait a minute, let me do a test real quick, guys. If we look within our JSON file, the platforms that are empty, which means they don't contain a credential. What if we select Amazon? All right, so we found a bug because it's asking us to select a credential even though no platforms exist, no credentials exist for Amazon. So we'll need to fix that problem. So before we try to open up the menu, all we need to do, we need to say if credential all right, so we do while true. We could actually say something like and. Wait, let's actually do it here instead. We could say if the credential count, or if not credential count, then print there are no credentials for the selected platform, or something like that. Yeah, I think that's good. And we could have a ... something like that. And let's test this out now. Oh, but then we'll need to also do this. So we could say while true and the credential count is greater than 0. Can try to log in. It's the user John. Can try to view a credential, and we can enter 2 for Amazon, and it says there are no credentials for the selected platform. Awesome. All right, and if we type next, cool. You can see, let's try to select Netflix. There are no credentials for the selected platform. We can type back, can try to view credentials for Amazon, no credentials for the selected platform. Awesome. Can try to select Gmail, and it displays the platforms for Gmail, right? Now this is where we'll need to do pagination for our credentials. Now let's move on to that. So we'll go to self.print credentials. All right, we'll need to get rid of this right here. So we're printing type back to go back to selecting a platform. We can delete that. And we can look for or define print credentials function. Cool. So all we need to do, guys, is just add the if statement for our credential ID. So we can say else if credential ID is equal to next, then maybe we'll have a next credential page function. So we'll say self dot next credential page, then we'll continue. Otherwise we'll have a for credential ID is equal to prev, then self dot next credential, not next, it should be prev credential page. So now we can define a function for doing that now. So 3 functions we'll need. We'll need one to also reset the credential ID, or the credential offset, I mean. So we'll have a self dot reset credential offset. Alright, so now let's see. Can define a function up here. Define next credential page. It will inherit from the self, and we'll say global credential offset, and we'll say if credential offset, we'll need to get the end credential, so credential end equals to the credential offset plus the credential limit. Then if the credential end is less than the credential count, so we'll take the credential count in as an argument, then we can simply say credential underscore offset plus equal to the credential limit, and then we can define a function now for the prev credential. So prev credential page inherit from the self, and we'll say global credential offset. We'll say if credential offset is greater than 0, then credential offset minus equal to our credential limit. Then we'll do it for the reset now. Define reset credential offset, inherit from the self. It should be global. So we'll simply do global platform offset, no, this should be credential offset. And then let's test this out now. Alright, so we can log in as the user John. And then we can say 1 2 3 4 for the password, view credential, Gmail. Alright, yeah, but we haven't implemented the pagination for the print credentials, so let's do that. So it's pretty simple. All we do is simply convert, credential or platforms list, or platforms into a list, and then after that we could simply say for I username enumerate platform, we could say platform end let's actually call it credential end equals to credential offset plus credential limit. Then we'll have a paginated list equal to or platform, starting at the platform offset up to the credential end. No, it should be credential offset. And then after that, right here, we could simply pass in our paginated list, and then we could say I equals to or credential offset plus I plus 1, and then we could simply pass in I as an argument there, and this should work now. So if we run our code, we can log in as the user John 1 2 3 4, can view credentials, we can type 1 for Gmail, and now it only displays 2. Awesome. And then we can simply type next. Oh, there we have a bug because we forgot to pass in the credential count. Alright, so credential count. Can try to log in as the user John. View credentials, 1 Gmail, type next. Wait, I passed it into the wrong function. So credential count. Can rerun our code. Alright, John 1 2 3 4. View credentials, Gmail, next. Awesome. Alright, we can type prev. Awesome. It works. Alright. We can type next. Let's say we select Jane Doe 3. Actually gets Jane Doe. Select 4 for John Test. You can type prev. Can select 1, 2. Whoa, and it actually works, guys. Can type next. We can select credential 12. Alright. But we forgot to do something, guys. We need to display like what page we are on. So we could say print f displaying. So this will be credential offset plus 1 to credential end of credential count credentials. So then we'll need to get the credential count for the current platform, so it will be the length of platform. And now we can rerun our code. We can log in as the user John 1 2 3 4. We can view our credentials. We can select 1 for Gmail, so we can type next. Can select 12. Alright, cool. Displaying 11 to 12 of 12 credentials. Awesome. Alright, so that's actually good, guys. If we type buck, let's see if it actually resets everything. Alright, yep, it works. Alright, it works, guys. Yes, it actually works. Awesome, guys. So we implemented pagination for that part. Let's see. Alright, so pagination for our platform when our credentials are completed, guys. Alright, so I think we can actually check this off our list now. So let's do that. We can check off pagination. Alright, and now we can move on to enums, right, for our options. So let's get started with that. So guys, with our enums thing now. Wait, before jump into that, guys, let's actually increase our pagination limit. So for our credential, let's make it be 10 by default, and for our platform limit, we'll make it be 10 by default. So we can rerun our code, and let's do one final test. And we view a credential. Alright, cool. See, we have Gmail, we're displaying 10 of 10 platforms. Awesome. If we type next, nothing will happen. That's good. If we type prev, nothing will happen either. Type buck, cool. View credential, we select Gmail. Alright, now we're displaying 1 to 10 of 12 credentials. If we type next, we can see we're displaying 11, 12. Awesome. So our pagination is actually working. What it says, yeah, 11 to 20. Alright, alright, we found a bug right here. Because it's doing 11, right? Displaying 11 to 12. Alright, so that's an issue. Why did that happen? Because we're doing 10. Wait, our offset is 10, right? So if we do 10 plus 10, we'll get 20. Yeah, that makes sense. So what we need to actually do, we could actually subtract or offset right, from our count. Let's fix that final bug, guys. Alright, so credential, view, print credentials. Let's do it for print credentials. So all we need to do, credential end. Alright, so we get the current offset, right? We could simply just get the credential count and subtract the current offset from it. And let's see what happens right here. So we can log in. Please enter username John 1234. Can view credentials, and then select Gmail. Display, it says displaying 1 to 12 of 12. Oh yeah, so we found a bug. We found a bug, guys. We found a bug. Yeah, because our credential offset, right, is actually 1. But then get our credential count. Wait, so hold on a minute. We just simply need to add our credential limit, right? So that simply means if we do next, we'll be at 10. But then if we subtract our credential count, it will be 12. So 12 minus 10. Yeah, 12 minus 10 would give us 2, right? Alright, so credential offset plus the credential limit. Because it's supposed to say 1 to 10, right? So if we do 1 plus 10, we would get what? 11. But the credential offset starts at 0. So 0 plus 10 would give us 10. Alright, let's keep this simple. Yeah, we could simply just do something like this, guys. We could say if the credential end is greater than the credential count, we could say credential end equals to or credential count. So that would clump it within the proper range, right? So now we can simply do John 1, 2, 3, 4, view credentials, displaying 1 of 10 platforms, awesome. Displaying 1 to 10 of 12 credentials, yes. And then if we do next, it should say displaying 11 to 12 of 12 credentials. Great. And we can do this also for our print platforms. So we simply say if platform end is greater than the platform count, then we say platform end equals to our platform count. Yeah, and that should be it. Right. Awesome. Great, guys. So now we can move on to enumerations. Alright, so yeah, with enumerations now, guys, if we look at our option, at how we are actually checking what option the user selects, we're comparing it with magic values. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna define options for our vault menu, and we're gonna define options for our startup menu, right? So let's actually do this. So in Python, let me show you guys, there is a enum module. So if we do import enum and we type help enum, you will see that it allows us to define enumerations, right? So we could create a class for, let's say, some colors, and we could assign values to each of those colors. Alright, so now that we understand that concept, we can go back to right here, and what we'll do, we'll say from enum, we'll import int enum, because we're gonna use integer enumerations, and we could create a class, guys, for our vault option, and we could create a class for our startup option. And what we could do now, we could say something like, for startup option, we have how much options? We have 3 options: create account, login, and exit. So let's define an option for it. We could say startup option dot create. We could make that option be 1, and then yeah, we could make it be 1, and then for the create account, wait, let me actually do something real quick. All right, so we have login now. Login startup option dot create underscore account. Then we could have login equal to 2. Then we could have exit equal to 3. Exit equals to 3. And we could have for vault option. So for vault option, we could say add credential equal to 1. View credential equal to 2. Delete credentials equals 3. Switch account equals to 4. Remove account equals 5. Change user name equals 6. Remove platform equals 7. And then we have change password and logout. So change password 8, and then log out equals 9. We need to delete these commas since we're just creating variables. So now, inside of here, guys, let's see how we could do this. Let's actually turn this into a dictionary so that we can actually map everything. So it doesn't depend the order that we add it in. It will automatically sort everything, right? So this could be vault option dot add credential, and it will be mapped to that. Vault option dot view credentials. Vault option dot delete credentials, and we'll have vault option dot switch account. Then we'll have vault option dot remove account. Then we'll have vault option dot change username. Then we'll have vault option dot change password, and we'll have vault option dot this is change password, and this is remove platform. Then we'll have vault option dot log out. Alright, so now we can do the same for the startup option. Alright, so this will be start up option dot create account, and then start up option dot login, start up option dot exit, and let's see. Yeah, everything looks good there. So now we'll need to modify the print startup function, because we want to be able to add options and like sort them based on the values that we defined in our enum, right? So we can have account right there. So what we could do, we could say, we made a mistake right here. This should be change password, capitalized. Alright, so we could say option list equals to sorted self startup options, and what will happen is it will sort or startup options by our enumeration values, and then could simply print that out. So now we could try to print out our option there. Wait, that's the startup menu, right? Oh, yeah, that just prints the version information. So we're supposed to do it. Hold on. We're supposed to do it right here. So for option, how will we get our option? Since we convert this into a list, we can't just do it like that. Instead, could do something like for option in self.startup options, and then we could simply use each one of those values to index into our startup option. Oh, by the way, guys, this should be a dictionary, not a list. So could say option equals to that. All right, let's say option right there. And then we could say option name equals self.startup options index option. And then right here we could add our option name. So then right here we could have our actual option number. All right, and now if we type 3 to exit, let's see if it still works. not supported between instances of tuple and int. Wait, self.startup options. And that's where we're sorting it. Oh, I see what's going on. Wait, so oh, I see. We need to get the keys, and then we sort it. Wait, we'll need to convert it into a list, right? Wait, all we need to do is just do list self.startup options, and then we sort it. Wait, oh, I think I know what's going on, guys. Yeah, we didn't use the enum. That's what's going on. We just defined a regular class. Instead, it should be inherited, or yeah, so inherit, yeah, should be int enum for our class. And now all we need to do is just do this, I believe. Alright, cool. So it actually works. Yeah, so now we can do the same thing for our vault options. So print vault menu. So all we need to do is I didn't use the actual option list. It should be that. Let's rerun our code and see what happens. Alright, it still works. Great. Cool. Alright, so now right here, all we need to do now is say option underscore list equals to sorted self.vault options. And then we can say for option in self.vault options, for option in option list, I mean, then option underscore name equals self.vault options index option, and then right here we can simply print out the option value and then the actual option name, and this should work. Alright, let's see. So we can log in as the user John 1234. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Cool. Awesome. Alright, so now guys, we actually need to get rid of the magic values and let them have more meaning by using our enumeration. So let's do this for the startup menu. Right here. So this should be startup option dot create account, and this should be startup option dot login. This should be startup option dot exit. And then we can do the same thing for our vault menu. If option equals to vault option, is it vault option or class is vault option? Right. Yes, vault option. Alright, so we just do vault option dot add credential. And we can say vault option dot view credentials, vault option dot delete credentials, then vault option dot switch account, vault option dot remove account, and then vault option dot change username, vault option dot remove platform, and then vault option dot change password, vault option dot logout. Wait, is it logout I have there? Yes. Alright, cool. And let's rerun our code now. And let's test out everything. So 1 creates an account, awesome. 2 logs in. 3 exits. 2, let's log in as a user. Alright, 1 adds a credential. Alright, 2 views a credential. 3 deletes a credential. Right, and pagination works in also the delete option, guys. Cool. Alright, wait, let's see if it actually resets when we type back for the remove credential thing. Alright, what if we do next? Alright, so yeah, we need to fix the pagination for delete account. We need to fix that. But switch account works. Alright, awesome. Switch account works. 5 to remove an account. Alright, let's enter something wrong. Alright, it works. Change a username. Alright, it works as well. Alright, 7 to remove a platform. Alright, so we'll need to do the pagination thing also for remove platform. Um, 8 change master password. Alright, awesome. 9 to logout. Alright, cool guys. So now we migrated from magic values for our options, for our vault menu and our startup menu, to actual values for our options that have meaning. Right? Now we found some bugs for our pagination. We forgot to add pagination for the delete thing and the remove platform thing. So let's fix that. So delete credentials. All we need to do is just add this right here. So whenever we're resetting, we simply do something like, let's see. Yeah, so we'll call self dot reset platform offset, and then otherwise if the platform ID is equal to next, then we'll do self dot next platform page, else if the platform ID is equal to prev, we'll do self.prev platform page. And we need to delete this since we're printing out the shortcuts, I believe. Yeah, we're printing out the shortcuts, so we can delete that. Type back to whatever. Alright. But whenever we do something like this, we have to do continue. We need to pass in the platform count here. And then we just continue. And then for the credential ID now, we can get rid of that there. Right here, just do self.reset credential offset, else if credential ID equals to next, self.next credential page, and then we simply pass the credential count here. And then we do else if the credential ID is equal to prev, self.prev credential page. We need to continue. Wait, let me see something, guys, because if we try to delete a credential, right? Let's say we selected 2 for Amazon, right? It will say there is no credentials in the selected platform. And that's actually good. That's actually good, but alright, so that's pretty good then. But let's actually make it print out let's make it color this right here. This should be pure white. So this should be bold white, and then this should be bold white here again. Now let's rerun our code. Alright, that's at line 306. Yeah, this should close. Can log in as the user John 1234. Try to delete a credential. Now, if we type next, yeah, nothing will happen. If we type prev, nothing will happen. But if we select a credential, then we type next, it actually works. Buck. Alright, select again, it resets, so we can do buck. Alright, we can select 2 for Amazon. Alright, that problem is fixed there. 10 for Netflix. Alright, awesome. Alright, so now we can type buck. Alright, now we need to do this for the remove platform. So pagination for the remove platform. Alright, so let's fix that. So remove platform. Can get rid of this right here. And all we need to do self dot reset platform offset. Otherwise, if the platform ID equals next, then we call self dot next platform page platform count. Else if platform ID equals to prev, self dot prev platform page. We need to continue. Right. Alright, let's look back on our delete credentials to ensure that we're doing everything appropriately. Alright, so we type buck, it's supposed to call a reset right there. Type buck, reset credential offset. Cool. Alright. Now we can try to log in as John. Can try to remove a platform. We can select Gmail. Alright, and it actually removed the platform. Alright. Right, let's overwrite this. And let's rerun the application. Alright, we can try to remove the platform. Let's try to type next. Nothing happens. Prev. Nothing happens. Good. Alright, let's add 2 more platforms to ensure the pagination process works for the platforms well. Alright, so we'll have 2 more platforms. What platform could we add? We could have let's see. We have Netflix already. Maybe we could have like maybe Pandora, maybe ChatGPT. Let's rerun our code now. Can log in as the user John 1234. We can try to remove a platform. Right, we can type next, Pandora, ChatGPT. Can type next again. We can type prev. We can type next. We can type buck. We can type 7. We can type. Alright, and it resets it back there. Alright, 3. Delete a credential. Can type next. Can type buck. Right. Type prev. Can type buck. Try to view. Can type next. Cool. Can type buck. Awesome. Right. So now our pagination is finished, guys. Our pagination is finished. Now let's see what other task we're supposed to do now. Cause we finished the enums or enumerations. Alright, so now this is for options, change data structure to dictionary. We actually completed that. Alright, so this is a bug now. We're at option task number 4, remove platforms returns true and not false. Alright, let's see where that is happening. Alright, so remove platform returns true somewhere. Alright, I think it's probably in or manager.py. So vim manager.py. And let's look to see. So remove platform returns true twice. This should be return false. Alright, so now let's check this off our list. Alright, so another issue when removing account, do not just break check to see if authentication was successful first, even though it doesn't affect the vault menu. Alright, let's see. Alright guys, so the next thing is whenever we're removing an account. Alright, so let's check our remove account thing. Wait, remove. Oh, I think it's in our menu. Let's see. Yes, it's in our menu. And actually, guys, we don't even have to return. Yeah, we return success from here. Yeah, so we need to check within our vault option, or vault menu, I mean. So whenever we remove an account, we just break. So we need to ensure that we only break if that returns true, even though it doesn't affect the vault menu thing, because outside of that function within our start thing, we check to see if we are logged in, so it will automatically call automatically call the vault menu again. So it doesn't affect it, but the proper way to do it is to only break if the removal of the account was successful. Alright, so we can check this off the list now. Can check this off. Alright, so the next task is to, let's see, so create a re-encrypt function in manager.py when we are changing the password. Alright, so we could create a change password manager function for the manager. Alright, so yeah, let's do that now. Alright, so we can navigate to the manager.py. Right. Wait, let me plug in my PC. Alright. Alright, so where were we? Yeah, so we are supposed to create a re-encrypt function. Alright. So let's actually create. Let's open up a new window, guys, or a new tab, and we'll cd into FlexPass manager. Alright. Right. Cool. Alright, so we'll create a change password function, right, for manager. So we define change password. It will inherit from the self, and what it will do is it will take in the current password, and then it will take in the new password, right? And then we could actually compare it against the current master password within our class. So we could say if password is equal to self.master password, then we could say self.master password equals to the new password. Right. Alright, cool. Alright, so now let's look at our change master password function here. Let's open up a new tab, cd into FlexPass vim auth.py, and let's move it over here. Alright, so one thing I noticed, guys, we're doing double verification here, but because we actually saved the master password to a variable, we don't actually need to do that. What we could actually do instead, we could simplify this. We could say if password again is equal to self.master password, then we could get the new password hash, right? Wait, so we'll still need to get the users there. Yeah, but for here, we can simply just compare the current password with the old master password. And if it matches, then we can create a new password hash from the new password, and then we could reinitialize the user's object with the new password hash. Right. All right. But then we'll simply return true here only if it was changed successfully. Otherwise, we'll simply return false. And then instead of doing double verification, we can simply do if self.auth.change_password. So we get the current password that we input and then the new password that we input, which means we don't even need this thing right here. And then notice, guys, we're doing these three things. We're doing self.manager.decrypt credentials and then self.manager.master password equal to new master password. So we could actually do this inside of our manager also. Right, so we could say if that is true, then we simply return true. If that is false, we simply return false right there. We could say self.masterPassword equals to new master password. But before we do that, we need to decrypt the credentials using the current master password. So we could do self.decrypt credentials inside of the manager class. Self.decrypt credentials. And then we could reassign the master password equal to the new master password. So then after that, now we could say self.encrypt credentials, and that would simply re-encrypt everything for us. Alright, so then now, instead of doing all of these three things here, we could simply have a self.manager.change password, and we could pass in the password with the new password. But we only do that if we successfully change the password within the authentication thing. Alright, so let's actually test out our change password thing now. So we'll rerun our code. Wait, we have an error inside of menu.py at line 192. Yeah, this should be a colon. So we can do John 1 2 3 4. We can try to change his master password. Let's change his master password. So his current password is 1 2 3 4. New master password will be test 1 2 3 4. Test 1 2 3 4. It's taken a while. Alright, but it changed the password successfully. It changed it successfully, right? All right, let's try to log out. Let's try to view the credentials. And we still get the password. All right, now let's try to log out completely. So 9 to log out, 3 to exit. And we can try to re-log in again. Can enter 2 to log in as John. Wait. John is the username. The password is test1234. Alright, we can try to view the credentials. Boom, we still get the credential. Awesome. So the decryption and re-encryption process is working. Nice. So we can try to check this off the box now. Alright, let's check this off. And the next thing is the ability to add a platform. Yeah, that makes sense, because currently, guys, we can only add credentials along with a platform. But what if we wanted to create an empty platform? Yeah, we need to add the ability to do that now. So let's start that. Alright, so in order for us to add a platform now, alright, let's go in our menu.py and we'll add a new option to our Vault Options class or Enum class. And right here we'll simply have a, let's just add an option. We'll call it add underscore platform, and it will be equal to 5. All right, let's set it right here. And then remove account will be 6 and 7, then 8, then 9, and then 10. So now we'll need to add it right here. So this will be, we can just add it down here, and that's why we implemented the sorting, guys. So we can say vault option dot add platform, and then we can say add platform. All right. And then inside of our Vault menu now, we can validate that. So we could say right here, else if option is equal to vault option dot add platform, then we do self dot add platform. Wait, but we already have a add platform within our manager, right? All right. So all we need to do is simply reuse it for here. All right. So let's create a function, guys, to actually add a platform. So define add platform. It will inherit from the self. And to add a platform, we'll simply say enter the platform. Yeah, let me just copy this right here. And we can copy this here as well. Now we can search for define pod platform. And we can paste this in. We can paste this in also. And then we can simply just indent all of this. Right. And then we could say could actually make this be an infinite loop while true platform name equals to that break, and we could simply say if that is true, then we break, right? And then we could say self.manager .add underscore platform, and it takes in the platform name. And then we could say if self.manager .add platform, then we simply return true, otherwise we return false. But then we need to ensure that the platform, wait, do we already check to see? Yeah, we already checked to see if it doesn't exist there. But we'll need to do it inside of this infinite loop also. So we'll say if we'll need to get the platforms, right? So platforms equals self.manager.get platforms, and then we could say if platform underscore name already exists inside of the platforms, then we could say something like print the platform already exists, please try again ... and then we could simply continue. And now guys, we can test this out. So 2 to log in, John 1234. Wait, John's password was changed to test1234, yes. So now if we try to add a platform, we can type 5 to do that. Enter the platform. Can enter Gmail and it will say it already exists. Please try again, cool. Let's enter Facebook, already exists. Let's enter let's say TikTok. Alright, TikTok. Alright, but it didn't add any message to anything. But we can see that TikTok now appears within our platforms list. All right, let me try to remove that platform. So 6 to remove a platform. Test 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, no, I just deleted the account for John. Oh no, man. All right, We'll need to do this all over again. All right, let's log in as the user. Wait, look. So we create an account for the user John. Alright, so let's create a credential for John. So we could have Gmail, John, secret 1, 2, 3, 4, secret 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, and let's look at the hash. So cd into FlexPass manager, cat creds.json. And this is the hash right here. Let's just copy the salt. And then we could go inside of our text editor right here. Right, and we could replace this with this. Could replace this with this right there. Alright, so could put that right there. Or comma should be right here. Alright, we'll need to delete this one. Right. so now we can try to rerun our code. Wait on line number 6. Oh, I see. So we can try to log in as the user John. Test 1, 2, 3, 4. View a credential. Alright, awesome. And now, guys, we can try the TikTok thing again. So wait, let's actually do it from here. So we could do something like print successfully added the platform. And then we could simply print the platform name there. Could make this be a format string, and then otherwise we could say f string failed to add the platform name. Could make this be bold, white, bold, white. And now it should work. To log in, John, test 1, 2, 3, 4. So we can try to add a platform. Gmail already exists. Can add TikTok. Successfully added the platform TikTok. Awesome. All right. Right, we can try to view the credentials. Can see TikTok is present. Try to remove a platform. Can remove TikTok, which is 13. Successfully remove the platform. Awesome. Alright, so we can do bot now. Alright. So it actually works, guys. It actually works. Right, so let's see what other task we need to do now, because we added the ability to add a platform. Right, and whenever a platform already exists, it automatically tells us that it already exists, right? Right. Yeah, so we're finished with that task. Alright, so another thing is we need to write data automatically in add user inside auth.py and manager.py. Alright, so let's do that. Alright, so let's go to our auth.py. And we can look for the add user. So whenever we update, we need to do self.write data And then for the add user in the manager now, define, we need to do self.write data. We need to also write data for here as well. Alright, that looks good. Alright, so add user. Alright, now let's take this off. Alright, because we did it to Alright, and now the next task is refactor change password in of double verify. Oh, we already fixed that issue. Another task is to write data when adding a platform automatically. Yeah, we already did that. Alright, change username in manager.py. Do an unnecessary if statement for already existing name. Alright, so change username Alright, so change username, guys. It says unnecessary statement for already existing name. Oh, that makes sense. Because all we need to do is just do users index username, new username. Wait, this isn't unnecessary because we're writing it to the creds.json and it doesn't mean that that user will exist, right? And right here, self.username equals to new username. Yes, so yeah, this is actually okay. Alright, so that task was a false positive. I'm just going to check it off. Alright, and now the last thing we need to do is for the remove user, change password, remove account. Just compare self.master password instead of re-verifying password with kdf hash for manager.py and auth.py. Alright, so let's check that and see what's going on. So remove account, right? Remove account. Wait, remove user. Yeah, so right here we're doing verification when we could just simply compare the current password with the current master password. Users.popself.username. Alright, cool. And it says we were doing that for What other functions? So change password. We fixed that change password problem for the auth. Change password. Yeah, we fixed it for the manager as well. Right. Right. Alright, I think this is good now. Alright, let's try to check this off now. And I think we're done with episode 4, guys. I think we're done with episode 4 now. Alright, so let's just do one final run. So we can log in as the user John, test 1, 2, 3, 4. 10 to log out, 2 to log in, John, test 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's try to change our password. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, it's wrong, so it won't work. Alright, it's test 1, 2, 3, 4 for our current password. 1, 2, 3, 4 for new. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, and let's see what happens. Alright, cool. Alright, and let's view credential. Can log in. Let's say, let's do a buck. Let's add a platform. Gmail. Alright, let's add J. Alright, let's add a new platform. That's what I wanted to do. So TikTok. Successfully added TikTok. Can type next. Select 13. There are no credentials for the selected platform. TikTok. Awesome. Alright guys, so I think this will be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to smash the like and subscribe button. Stay tuned and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.